What's up guys, EJ here, back with another video, and today it's going to be my movie collection for 2016 and part 2 of the thriller section. So last time we finished off with the K's, so starting off with M. Up first we have Man on a Ledge from 2012 with Sam Worthington, Elizabeth Banks, Jamie Bell. Yeah, I really remember Genesis Rodriguez, sexy as hell in this film. Ed Harris, yeah, good movie. Up next we have Man on Fire from 2004, fantastic film directed by Tony Scott, of course, with Denzel Washington, Dakota Fanning, yeah, good movie. Up next we have Alfred Hitchcock's The Man Who Knew Too Much, the 1956 version with Jimmy Stewart and Doris Day, fantastic movie. Up next we have the original The Manchurian Candidate from 1962. Great film, of course, with Frank Sinatra, Lawrence Harvey, Jeanette Lee, Angela Lansbury, fantastic, great movie directed by John Frankenheimer that I also have on Criterion Collection. And I also got the 2004 remake with Denzel Washington, Meryl Streep, and Liev Schreiber. Not as good as the original, but still pretty decent. Up next, excuse me, we have Manhunter from 1986. Of course, the original film with Hannibal Lecter, directed by Michael Mann, starring William Peterson of CSI fame. Yeah, great film. Brian Cox, of course, in this movie as well. Great film, Manhunter. Up next we have Marathon Man, a great film from 1976, directed by John Schlesinger, with Dustin Hoffman, Laurence Olivier, Roy Scheider, and William Devane. Up next we have Marnie from 1964, a great Alfred Hitchcock film with Sean Connery and Tippi Hedren. Up next we have Woody Allen's Match Point from 2005. Yeah, really good movie with Brian Cox, Matthew Good, Scarlett Johansson, Emily Mortimer, Jonathan Rhys-Meyers. Yeah, really enjoyed this film. Not always a huge Woody Allen fan. Some of his films are hit or miss for me, but I enjoy that one. Up next we have Michael Clayton, a great movie from 2007 with George Clooney, Tom Wilkinson, Tilda Swinton, Sidney Pollack. Alright, moving on down here. Up next we have Misery, classic, of course, based on Stephen King novel, directed by Rob Reiner with James Caan and Kathy Bates from 1990, collector's edition. Up next we have The Net from 1995 with Sandra Bullock, Andy Garcia, yeah, computer high-tech thriller from the mid-90s. Also from 1995 we have Nick of Time with Johnny Depp and Christopher Walken, film directed by John Badham. Up next we have No Way Out from 1987 with Kevin Costner and Gene Hackman. Yeah, good film directed by Roger Donaldson. Up next we have my all-time favorite Alfred Hitchcock film, North by Northwest from 1959 with Cary Grant, Ava Marie Saint, and James Mason. Just a classic movie, 50th anniversary edition. Up next we have Now You See Me from 2012. Yeah, good film. I enjoyed it a lot. Directed by Louis Leterrier. Really good cast. Jesse Eisenberg, Woody Harrelson, Morgan Freeman, Michael Caine, Isla Fisher, Dave Franco, Mark Ruffalo. I saw the sequel just a couple of weeks ago, Now You See Me too. I enjoyed that movie too, so I'll probably be getting that as well. Yeah, I enjoy these movies about magic and good fast-paced fun films, the Now You See Me movies. Alright, up next we have the original Old Boy from 2003. Fantastic Korean film, of course, directed by Park Chan-wook. And I also have Spike Lee's Old Boy from 2013 with Josh Brolin, Elizabeth Olsen, big fan of her, and Sharlto Copley. Yeah, not as good as the original, but some messed up scenes, pretty good stuff still. The Old Boy remake. Up next, we got a 1 hour photo from 2002, one of Robin Williams' best performances. Good, creepy performance in this film. Yeah, this and Insomnia came out the same year. He starred in sort of two darker roles, and I enjoyed him in both of those. Up next, we have Out of the Furnace on Blu-ray from 2013. Yeah, really good film with Christian Bale, Woody Harrelson, Casey Affleck, Forest Whitaker, Willem Dafoe, Zoe Saldana, and Sam Shepard. Up next, we have Open Water from 2013, I believe. Yeah, a good little film about a couple who gets stranded in the ocean, and of course is surrounded by sharks. I just recently watched The Shallows last week with Blake Lively. I enjoyed that film too. Yeah, similar sort of storyline. Oh god, Snapper Case is killing me. Outbreak from 1995, fantastic film, directed by Wolfgang Peterson. Love this movie with Dustin Hoffman, Rene Russo, Morgan Freeman. Just a great film about sort of the Ebola virus type. Yeah, just a great movie. Really tense and exciting. Outbreak. Up next, got Pacific Heights from 1990, directed by John Schlesinger, with Melanie Griffith, Matthew Modine, and Michael Keaton. Alright. Up next, we got Panic Room from 2002, great film directed by David Fincher, of course, with Jodie Foster. Yeah, first time I saw, what's her name? Kristen Stewart. Yeah, Forest Whitaker and Dwight Yoakam, Jared Leto, really good film. Probably one of Fincher's most underrated movies, Panic Room. Alright, up next, got Perfect Murder. This is a weird snapper case. It's like, look how weird that is on the, oh, it's falling apart, that's why. Anyway, A Perfect Murder from 1998. Yeah, remake of Dial M for Murder, Alfred Hitchcock's classic, which I showed in the other video. Michael Douglas, Gwyneth Paltrow, and Viggo Mortensen. God, I hate snapper cases. But just something you live with when you're a DVD collector. Up next, we got Phone Booth from 2003. Yeah, really good film, directed by Joel Schumacher with Colin Farrell, Kiefer Sutherland, and Forest Whitaker. Really tense and exciting film. I remember when I first saw that when it came out. Alright, up next we got Ransom from 1996, Ron Howard film with Mel Gibson, of course, Rene Russo. Big fan of Rene Russo. That should be kind of obvious in my videos. There's a lot of movies with her, and this one's still got like part of the tape on it. Anyway, moving on, The Raven on Blu-ray from 2012. Yeah, of course, John Cusack as Edgar Allan Poe. Interesting film. Got a number of movies in my collection titled The Raven. Alright, up next we have Ravenous from 1999. Great movie, of course, about cannibalism with Guy Pearce, Robert Carlyle, and David Arquette. Up next we have Red Dragon, of course, remake of Manhunter, basically, with from 2002. Film directed by Brett Ratner with Anthony Hopkins, of course, Edward Norton, Ralph Fiennes, Harvey Keitel. Yeah, good film. Probably, I like this a little bit better than Hannibal. Not as much as Silence of the Lambs or Manhunter, though. Alright, up next we got Reindeer Games from 2000, John Frankenheimer film with Ben Affleck, Gary Sinise, and Charlize Theron. Yeah, good sort of bank robbery thriller set at Christmas. Not great, but it has its moments. Up next we have Rising Sun from 1993. Yeah, interesting sort of sexy thriller with Sean Connery and Wesley Snipes. Tia Carrere, good appearance by her in that film, that's for sure. Up next we have Runaway Train from 1985, great movie with John Voight, Eric Roberts, and Rebecca De Mornay. Up next, we have The Russia House from 1992, or 1990, sorry. Yeah, based on the John le Carré novel with Sean Connery and Michelle Pfeiffer. Up next, we have Alfred Hitchcock's Saboteur from 1942 with Priscilla Lane and Robert Cummings. Up next, we got Seven, David Fincher's masterpiece, of course, from 1995 with Brad Pitt, Morgan Freeman, Kevin Spacey, Gwyneth Paltrow. Just a fantastic movie, one of the best thrillers of all time. Absolutely love Seven. Up next, we have Shutter Island from 2012 on Blu-ray with Leo DiCaprio and Mark Ruffalo. Martin Scorsese film, of course. Not my favorite Scorsese movie of the past decade or so. Don't like the ending to that film. Up next, we have The Silence of the Lambs, of course, 1991 masterpiece directed by Jonathan Demme, Jodie Foster, Anthony Hopkins, Scott Glenn. Also have the Criterion Collection version of this. Yeah, just one of the best films of all time. Up next, we have Sorcerer from 1977. Yeah, a good film with Roy Scheider, directed by William Friedkin. Oh, let's get these straightened out. Alright, up next we got the Taken movies. The first one from 2008, of course, with Liam Neeson and Maggie Grace. Yeah, still enjoyed the first Taken a lot. Taken 2, directed by Olivier Megaton, not as good. Yeah, more of the same. I thought this scene where she's running around on the rooftops in Istanbul, like dropping grenades everywhere so he can hear where she is, I thought was completely ridiculous. I mean, what about where those grenades landed and if there were people around them? And Taken 3 I saw. I'll probably get it just to complete the collection. But yeah, Taken 3 wasn't as good as Taken 2, and that's not saying much. Moving on, The Taking of Pelham 123 from 1974. This is a great movie with Walter Matthau and Robert Shaw. Big fan of Robert Shaw. Martin Balsam and Hector Elizondo. I didn't really care for the remake with John Travolta from a few years ago, but the first one's a good one. Alright, up next we have The Talented Mr. Ripley. Great film from 1999, directed by Anthony Minghella. Fantastic performance by Matt Damon, Jude Law, Gwyneth Paltrow, Cate Blanchett, Philip Seymour Hoffman. Just a terrific film. Up next we got Topaz from 1969, I believe. Alfred Hitchcock film with Frederick Stafford and John Forsythe. Up next we have Unbreakable. Yeah, one of M. Night Shyamalan's best films from 2002 with Bruce Willis and Samuel L. Jackson. Up next we have Unstoppable from 2011 on Blu-ray. Yeah, Tony Scott's last film, maybe 2010. Denzel Washington and Chris Pine. Good movie, much like Runaway Train, about a runaway freight train. Yeah, good film. Up next we have Wait Until Dark, a great film directed by Terrence Young from 1967 with Audrey Hepburn in one of her best performances, Alan Arkin and Richard Crenna. Up next we have War Games from 1983, absolute classic, of course, from the 80s, directed by John Badham, Matthew Broderick and Ali Sheedy, Dabney Coleman and John Wood. Joshua, the supercomputer, of course, playing tic-tac-toe, and global thermonuclear war. Love War Games, seen it a bunch of times. And last but not least, completing the thriller section, we have Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, classic from 1962. Bette Davis and Joan Crawford, fantastic performances by these two great actresses. To this special edition, and that completes the thriller section. Up next will be my war movies, and that'll be 2 parts as well. Yeah, big fan of war films. Obviously, it's one of my favorite genres. So thank you for watching as always, and until next time, I'll see you.
Bom.